Hi, I'm Eric Valenci. Welcome to InScene. Welcome to InScene. Today we're going to be meeting Sue Stump, an extremely talented designer. I'm very, very excited to be working with her. Sue is really a designer's designer. She is all about the craft. She works with amazing prints. She has incredible ideas. Her designs are vibrant and jump out at you, so I can't wait to see what she's up to.
I think people just think it's really glamorous and not an awful lot of hard work. It's absolutely no glamour in it at all for me right now. No, it's all been really hard. I don't think starting is so much, but I think keeping the momentum going and, you know, growing a business is harder than actually starting. When you first start, the very first seasons, everyone's like, oh great, wow, new, this is fantastic, but then you're only new for 5 minutes. So I think the hardest part is, you know, keeping things, you know, interesting whilst keeping the business going, really. I mean, I'm very hands-on. I mean, I do everything from, you know, the initial research to a lot of pattern making. I mean, I just have to know what's going on at every part of the business because I'm a small, still emerging designer. I mean, that's tough. I mean, at the end of the day, you probably spend less time actually designing than, you know, because it's getting the whole thing together. It's the organisation that just takes, you know, a lot of my time up. We're still pretty small, so I have to do a lot myself, and I have to know what's going on. I have to, you know, just sort of manage everything. All my friends have been really supportive. I mean, most of my friends pretty much work in fashion-related businesses anyway. So yeah, I mean, a lot of my friends wear my clothes, or I collaborate with a couple of friends on my print designs, which is great. And then it comes down to working on, you know, shows and presentations. I have friends working casting and, you know, hair and makeup. That all kind of, you know, it becomes part of the team, really. I've been here 13 years now, so I do, you know, understand American fashion and American sportswear, but I think I still have a bit of a London street fashion aesthetic going on somewhere. So I think that's maybe why it makes my line a little bit different than anyone else's. Each season it sort of changes. I mean, I always start off with a lot of inspiration, so each season the references all change a bit, but there are things that I tend to do, I think, you know, instinctively. There's certain shapes or certain, you know, certain sort of techniques and stuff that I always keep coming back to. Well, I always use soft, sort of feminine fabrics, but in very different ways. I always use cotton and silk. Actually, cotton and silk mostly, really. Then for this collection, I've got this, you know, great cotton tulle that I'm embroidering on, and I do a lot of print. So I pretty much figure out at the beginning when I sort of do the look at the line in general, you know, what kind of print and what size and what scale and what kind of, where I want it to be, whether I want it to be a placement or something at the beginning. And then sometimes things work organically and something comes out completely different. You have to shift it all around, but in general I have a pretty good idea what I want before I really start. I mean, it's something I've been doing for a long time, but there are a lot of challenges because I mean, as with anything, things just don't always come back or happen the way you expect them to, but sometimes you come out with some nice surprises, so that's always, you know, that's always fun. I mean, quite often it's always like the one thing I really love the most that, you know, just doesn't sell or something like that, and it's the least thing, you know, the least interesting thing in my mind possibly that, you know, everyone just loves. It doesn't always work like that, but sometimes it just does, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's really super stressful. But I mean, I am presenting my collection right at the very beginning of Fashion Week. I do like getting it over and done with, I have to say, but it makes it harder because my models only come into town a few days before that, so fittings will start, I don't know, 2 days before, and even, you know, final model casting will be just literally just down to the last minute. I design for young, feminine, fashion-loving, vibrant girls. I mean, I'd love a store, I'd like to sell more online, I'd like to expand maybe, you know, the product line further than just women's wear. I don't have muses, but I mean, there are, you know, I love to see people, anyone, whether it's a famous person or not a famous person, you know, wearing my clothes and really enjoying wearing it.
Brought to you by Cotton, the fabric of our lives.